Well, there we are, one from us to the great big Great Dorset family that come together every year, well, at least COVID accepting. And what about this?
All my life I've been searching,
It's them Wurzels.
trying to fulfill my dream. Since I was young and I have known it was my destiny to own a traction steam engine machine. No matter what her condition, I would do her up like new. Then I'd take her round to all the steam fair showing grounds. She'd call such a hullabaloo. Good old Rosie, you're my Rosie. I love Rosie. Stoking up the fire, letting off steam, engine smooth like a dream. She'll be known as the steam fair queen. Old Rosie. Out of the blue came a vision when I first caught sight of you. Abandoned in a gloomy barn on a scrumpy cider farm, I realized my searching was through. You were rotting, sad and sorry, under years of dirt and rust. Missed the brambles, leaves and weeds and bleeding nettles stung me knees. To save you, I knew that I must. Good old Rosie, you're my Rosie. I love Rosie. Stoking up the fire, letting off steam, engine smooth like a dream. She'll be known as the steam fair queen. Old Rosie. After 4 long years of grafting, burning candles through the night, greasing, welding, angle grinding, cleaning, rubbing down and priming Rosie at showgrounds in sight. Glossy paintwork, all the gleaming. We were ready now to go. All our friends and pals were there, showing at the Dorset Fair world famous great steam engine show. Good old Rosie, you're my Rosie. I love Rosie. Rosie's crowned as the steam fair queen. Good old Rosie, you're my Rosie. I love Rosie. Stoking up the fire, letting off steam, engine smooth like a dream. Rosie's the queen of the steam fair scene. Rosie glows in the sunshine. Old Rosie.
And those whistles at the end of Old Rosie remind us, don't they, of the 2 occasions we've had this week. First of all, the very moving tribute that was held to commemorate those who've passed away since the last Great Dorset Steam Fair in 2019. And then, of course, yesterday night, the last night of the fair, all the Showman's Engine line whistles were blowing at midnight. We captured it also here on Steam Fair FM in the traditional manner, and it was just great to hear. It's been a great week of weather as well, which has really made this return of the show fantastic. Continuing the story of Steam Fair FM, there was a big breakthrough for us in 2019 when Martin Oliver and James Sharples invited us to help them design purpose-built radio studios in the barn building here on the Steam Fair site. And so for the first time, we actually had properly specified studios, and they were built in time for the 2019 broadcast, and everything looked really good going forward. And then, of course, after that, COVID hit, and nobody could have seen that one coming. And in 2020, we talked to Martin Oliver and said, look, obviously there's going to be no Great Dorset Steam Fair, but there's no reason why there can't be a Steam Fair FM broadcast. We can do that remotely, and we can use a lot of the archive material that we've had over the many, many years that we've been broadcasting, which doesn't normally get aired again. Let's celebrate the Steam Fair, and let's hear lots and lots of archive interviews and material. And that's exactly what we did in 2020. We covered the 5 days that would have been the show. We didn't think we were going to have to do it in 2021, but sure enough, no show in 2021 as COVID continued to be a huge issue. And so those 2 years, Steam Fair FM was able to broadcast online over the 5 days and keep the spirit and the sounds and smells of the Great Dorset Steam Fair alive. And that really brings us to where we are now in 2022, our 20th broadcast, and back on the showground, back to these lovely studios with the fantastic view over the fairground, except tonight all those lovely colourful lights are not on, and we know that the show has ended. But anyway, we'll be saying our goodbyes very shortly. If you'd like a final shout out, you've just got time if you're quick. studio@steamfairfm.com. In the meantime, the vintage hits continue to the last. Here's Boston now.
I looked out this morning and the sun was gone. Turned on some music to start my day, and lost myself in a familiar song. I closed my eyes and I slipped forget the day and dream of a girl I used to know. I closed my eyes and she slipped
Hi to Stephen Whittingstall. Thank you for your message, Stephen. What a fantastic show and week it has been. It was great to meet old friends and make new ones at the steam plough stand. Well, not long to go now before we have to switch off for this year. Let's not miss the opportunity to play Dr. Busker in our closing minutes, and this is Stowpain Gathering.
On a Dorset plain, engines gathered in the pouring rain, in a field in a village they call Stowpain, the Stowpain Gathering. to the bar, boys, buy them beers, raise up your glasses and give 3 cheers. Dorset's celebrating 40 years at the Stourpane Gathering. Steam apprentices are here to learn. Water boils and the coal doth burn. In the regulator and the wheels do turn at the Stourpane Gathering. Smoke and steam in the country air. The beer's at the bar and the devil in the chair. And we're all going down to the Dorset Fair, the Stourpane Gathering. The NIMBYs in the local town, they tried their best to shut us down. The weather went from bad to worse, the show outlived the gypsy curse. The bureaucrats, with all their rules, who took us for a crowd of fools, use red tape to interfere. But they're all gone, and we're still here. Seen the storms and the mud all around, the beer tent lying on the rain-soaked ground, drawn our strength from the friends we found at the Stourpane Gathering. Years have come and years have gone, some of our friends have now passed on, but in this place their names live on at the Stourpane Gathering. Many years on and it's all still here. The fair, the engines and the pints of beer. Still we come back every year for the Stourpane Gathering. Where there's a way, there's an iron will. Road locomotives on Haulage Hill. In 40 years' time, hope they're doing it still at the Stourpane Gathering. Long, long ago on a Dorset plain, engines gathered in the pouring rain, in a field in a village that they call Stourpane, the Stourpane Gathering. The Stourpane Gathering.
Well, that's what it used to be, of course.
The Stourpane Gathering.
Dr. Busker, always so popular, and of course this year here with his brand new collection of songs too at the Great Dorset Steam Fair. Well, the old clock's ticking away, we haven't got long to go. I've got a few members of the team in the studio with me, those who've been able to stay up late. And here to speak first is Chris Day to say his goodbyes.
It's very...
Do you like a microphone?
It would help, yes. Thank you. I've already said mine, actually, when I finished the programme earlier this afternoon. But just to add, I mean, it's a great team to work for. It's a pleasure to actually produce commercials for the people who we have advertising with us. And, you know, these are so great. I mean, the family who run Steam Fair is, you know, they're down to earth, and they come and talk to us, and we're not big close friends, but we are friends, and that's what I think is really important.
It's what the Great Dorset's all about,
absolutely.
Isn't it?
So you know, it's really just thanks very much for allowing me to come back and have a bit of a play, and hopefully we can do it again next year.
Absolutely. The man with the midnight steam party. Now, here's a member of the team who's actually been working quite a lot in the background this year. He was on the preview weekend broadcast before we came live from Tarrant Hinton, and in the meantime he's been supplying us with the news. Not news, we don't do news. Weather. Thank you, Tony. Weather and what's on reports. And he's come all the way down to Tarrant Hinton today just to be here for our last day. Tony, welcome.
Thank you. And the last time we were all sat in this room, we were all looking forward, and I think we had the dates in our head for the next broadcast, and then a certain little virus hit, and that was it. We've been forced to do things differently, but it's been great to be back, in Tarrant Hinton, and I think long may it, and I agree with Chris. It's a family and such a great team to work with, and I think long may it continue.
Thank you, Tony. And John Robson, for his sins, has become a partner in this project this year. I can't actually see him because he's sitting behind my screens, but he's waving. Yes, are you there?
I'm here, Pat. Yeah, and it is great to be back down here at South Down, Tarrant Hinton, after 3 years, and to be working with everyone again. As the others have said, we are all sort of one big family. We all keep in touch. During that three-year period, but we haven't seen each other in person. It's been great, to be able to have a beer, have a cider, just sort of catch up with people, and it's been really fantastic to be back here, and the response, as ever, on the radio has been great from all the listeners. We couldn't do it without the listeners. They helped to make Steam Fair FM what it is, and it's been as good as ever.
Excellent. Okay, well, many thanks, John. We're going to have to move on now. Malcolm Morgan, Malcolm and Yvonne from South Wales have been listening to Steam Fair FM, as we're unable to come to the show this year, but can't wait until next year. And I think the final shout out tonight is going to go to Lance Whitaker, who's been in touch quite a lot during the week. Thanks for your messages, Lance, and thanks for listening to Steam Fair FM. It's the second ABBA song, isn't it, in our final hour? We've gone from Dancing Queen to Thank You for the Music, but we usually play this in our final hour. So it reminds us that, music is everything, and it is the bedrock of Steam Fair FM. We've tried to bring you the best and the greatest oldies. Hope you've enjoyed the music this year. Okay, well, the clock is moving precariously near to midnight, so it's time for us to think about going. The song we always play out with is The Carpenters and Yesterday Once More. This is Patrick Healy. It's been a great pleasure to be here once again. I've been here every one of these 20 years, so it is a bit of an anniversary for me. It's been a fabulous show this year. It's so good to see the Great Dorset Steam Fair back in action and back at full strength. We will look forward to seeing you again next year on those dates that we gave over in the competition earlier, the 24th to the 28th of August in 2023. Look after yourselves, have a good year, and we look forward to seeing you on Steam Fair FM again next year.
I'd listen to the radio, waiting for my favorite songs. When they played, I'd sing along. It made me smile. Those were such happy times, and not so long ago. How I wondered where they'd gone. But It's yesterday once more. Looking back on how it was in years gone by, and the good times that I had, makes today seem rather sad. So much has changed. It was songs of love that I would sing to them, and I'd memorize each word. Those old melodies still sound so good to me as they melt the years away. Every sha-la-la-la, every whoa-whoa still shines. Every shing-a-ling-a-ling that they're starting to sing still fine. All my best memories come back clearly to me. Some can even make me cry, just like before. It's yesterday once more. Every sha-la-la-la, every whoa-whoa still shines. Every shing-a-ling-a-ling that they're starting to sing so fine.
That's it from us. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Goodbye. See you next year. Have a great year. We'll see you in 2023 on Steam Fair FM. The time is just after midnight, and Steam Fair FM is now closing down.
It's smooth steaming with the highly successful sound of 24 hours